The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com.
Hi everyone, and welcome into the Vision High School Sports Beat. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bill Pucko. We are on location this week from Vision Hyundai in Webster for a look at the best of the just completed fall season. We'll start as we do every week with a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County and our honor roll of the top 3 non-football teams from this fall. At number 3, Pittsburgh Girls Swimming, now a 15-time defending Section 5 champion and a 3-time state titleist with no end in sight. 12 of the 15 qualified to swim at states were underclassmen. At number 2, Fairport Boys Soccer, state finalists in the biggest and toughest classification for the 3rd time in 4 years. Quite the extended run of success for the Raiders, sectional finalists in 15 of Coach Gianni Busani's 22 seasons. And at number 1, Spencerport Girls Soccer, a first-time Class A state champion, a first for the school outside of wrestling. The Rangers girls finished the year undefeated 21-0-2 and achieved national ranking for that performance. Which brings us to Penfield, where the volleyball team certainly rate high for Team of the Season honors. Together, these extended families might just wind up the story of the year. A number of area schools own outstanding volleyball teams, but none possess the consistency of excellence enjoyed by both the boys and girls programs at Penfield, dating back to the 80s when Jack Hunter coached both teams. Although they last won sectionals 7 long years ago, the boys have been finalists on a regular basis.
We've been to the finals 3 of the last 4 years, and this group in particular has been there the last 2 years together. This group of seniors, they were all sophomores when we first lost to McQuaid in 2014. Then we lost to them again last year, but I think they've come with a different sense of focus and purpose this year. They're really driven to do well.
Among Mike Fusar's best players is Jordan Solomon, a coach's kid. The girls' coach's kid, Andrew Solomon.
When I was a younger player, he coached me a lot, but now he's kind of stepped back a little and let me be my own player. But he has been a huge influence in who I am today and how I play on the court.
Do you think he tries not to input because it's somebody else's team?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Jordan is a very intelligent player, and I think that the intelligence has to be, probably apple doesn't fall very far from the tree because Dad's an outstanding coach, and I think Jordan probably picked up on a lot of that. He was a younger player. We knew when he was coming through that he was going to be a good one.
Jordan was brought up in a volleyball family. Both his parents played the game, but he needed some convincing.
When he first tried it, he was really into other sports, but he gave it a try in 2nd grade, and it didn't really stick. You know, he tried it. It was hard getting into practice. He loved the games, of course, but didn't like the practice. And then we took a few years off, and he experimented with a lot of other sports. And then in 7th grade, we started a club, and he fell in love with it.
Does it ever get to be too much?
When I was little, I thought I was going to be an NFL player because I love football, but no, not now. It doesn't. I love it. I love every second of it.
A medical condition shortened Andrew Solomon's own playing career, but that only served to get him involved in coaching at an earlier age. Solomon does double duty these days when he can, watching his son play for the undefeated boys team from the stands under the guidance of his friend and colleague, before assuming command of his own team, the Penfield girls team. These Patriots have won 2 sectional titles in the past 5 years and laid claim to a state crown in 2011. In Penfield, volleyball takes a back seat to no one.
Volleyball, everyone comes to the volleyball games, always. There's always a big crowd at the volleyball games. I mean, when Penfield played McQuaid last year at McQuaid, tons of Penfield students came. The gym was packed. Even for sectional finals for the boys, it was loud.
And even if the girls' coach has one eye on the boys' team, he's actually a bigger fan of their game.
I like the girls' game better, only because I'm very picky about technique and how it looks, and sometimes, a lot of times, boys can get away with it not looking as pretty and still being very athletic and doing some things that, maybe they wouldn't be able to do. Where girls, really everything is very particular, and the movements and the technique and the form, and it gets back to the roots and the basics of volleyball. And when they have that great technique, it just makes the game that much prettier, I think.
Both the Penfield teams wound up undefeated on their way to reaching state championships. When we return, Rachel Tuleski from Rush Henrietta Cheerleading is in the Dunkin' Donuts Coaches Corner, and later, running for Melody when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. We're at the newly renovated Vision Hyundai in Webster, celebrating the 11th annual Reason for the Season Toy Drive. You bring in a new unwrapped toy, we'll give you an oil change at all 11 Vision Auto dealerships.
Be noisy, be silent. Be near, be far. Be joyful, be together. Celebrate joy with Dunkin's holiday-flavored coffees, espressos, and donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
Welcome to the Dunkin' Donuts Coaches Corner. It's our pleasure to be joined by Rush Henrietta Cheerleading coach Rachel Tuleski this week. Rachel, a pretty impressive 7 Coach of the Year awards in the 9 seasons you've been here at Rush Henrietta. What does it take to succeed as a cheerleading coach?
Oh, a lot of things. You have to be able to balance working with high school girls, getting them in there, getting in the gym, practicing as much as possible, doing the outside work. We have a lot of kids that go to tumbling in different areas, so they're actually working an extra day, if possible, on that, and just keeping the focus strong with the kids. Everybody has good days and bad days. Getting everyone to be friends and have fun and work together. We've been really successful with that. I haven't had any problems with the girls. They're actually really, really close. They consider themselves what they say is family here at our age, so.
And maybe you don't have an answer to this because not having done it. Is it different, do you think, working with cheerleaders as opposed to, let's say, a girls' basketball team?
No, I don't think so.
It's girls
I really
and
don't
girls.
think so. Yeah, girls, boys, everybody's kind of the same in a sense.
Your sport has the target. Fairport has been like as good at this as you can be just about for as long as I can remember. Mm-hmm. As somebody who's had some success trying to wedge into that, mm-hmm. what will it take to topple that team?
We're close. We tied with them for the counties championship in the winter this past season. So that was the closest we've ever gotten. She's done an amazing job with that program. She's someone I definitely look up to. And her youth program, feeding into them, is what really, really helps them.
Cheerleader coach, cheerleading yourself?
Have I?
Yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I cheered for high school at Pavilion, and then I cheered at SUNY Brockport.
Pavilion?
Yes.
Little school. So is there a culture shock between, let's say, growing up through Pavilion and working now in Rush Henrietta?
Yeah, actually, I coached there for 10 years before I came here. So yeah, there was a definite culture shock. The number size, too, is crazy coming in. I mean, I was working with classes that were graduating max 80. And now, I mean, were they at 500 out here?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
How great is it to have the credibility of a state championship? Was that a real difference maker for you guys?
For cheerleading?
Yeah, for the sport.
I think that was definitely the icing on the cake as far as New York State accepting us as a sport and then saying, okay, now you know what, we're going to let you guys not just go past sectionals, you're going to have your own state tournament. And I think that this past year, I think, was the first time that it solidified us as a sport.
Yeah, well, I think it was deserved. I mean, anybody that's
Thank
like
you.
been in and around it and seen how hard everyone works and how difficult it is, I think would agree with that.
The evolution of cheerleading is, in the past 5 years in New York State alone it's insane what they expect of the kids and what they're working for.
Very good. Rachel Taliski, the Rush Henrietta cheerleading coach, has been our guest on the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner. Coming up, we salute our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee with Kim Burnson. Later, Anna Costarellis of Churchville Chili doesn't just run for herself. When the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. We're at the newly renovated Vision Hyundai in Webster, celebrating the 11th annual Reason for the Season Toy Drive. You bring in a new unwrapped toy, we'll give you an oil change at all 11 Vision Auto dealerships. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. We're on location this week from Vision Hyundai in Webster, and it is time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field. Here is Kim Burnson.
We'd now like to take a look back at more of our honorees from the fall sports season. Kyle Benham of Greece Athena High School was featured for maintaining an A average while balancing 3 varsity sports and a role in the school play. He's also a National Honor Society member. We also honored Jerry Reinhardt as senior at Batavia High School. He's not only a team leader in the huddle, but also in his community. He volunteers with youth leagues and helps fundraise for childhood cancer awareness. Victor High School's Casey Messier is another honoree who is recognized for her 95 grade point average and impact on a lacrosse field. She also played soccer for the Blue Devils and was named All-Monroe County 2 seasons in a row. Finally, cross-country standout Nathan Lawler of Pittsford Mendon was granted the Charlie McMullen Award as Section 5's fastest runner. His hard work and dedication is also represented in his schoolwork, where he maintains an A average. Thank you again to all of our honorees recognized for making the grade this fall season.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nomination. Send them to info@classywolf.com. And now here's what's coming up on the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar.
Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages at all stages of life. Quality health coverage. That's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
This is the main event, and it comes really early in the wrestling season. The Monroe County Championships. Webster Schrader hosts them. The finals all day Saturday begin at 7 a.m. Indoor track comes home. Houghton last week. SUNY Brockport is the site for this week's meets on Friday at 6 and Saturday at 6. There's a hockey tournament at Lakeshore. Hilton hosting the Robbie Copaway Cadet Classic. Girls basketball, traditionally tough Penfield, gets tested in back-to-back road games. Tuesday at Pittsford Mendon at 7:15, and then Thursday at Victor, also at 7:15. That is our Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Coming up, our top 3 honor roll making non-football playing athletes of the fall, and we visit the Costarellis family in Churchville when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Sign Impressions is more than just signs. It's a total graphics company. Embroidery, screen printing, team apparel, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and of course banners and signs. Visit signimpressions.com. Call us at 723-0420 to order your team or corporate apparel.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us at the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. On location this week from Vision Hyundai in Webster, our honor roll of high school athletes is brought to you by Injury Free Coalition for Kids. The Injury Free Coalition for Kids of Rochester and the Smart Teen Driving Program, funded by the Allstate Foundation, encourages teens to pay attention, not get distracted, and to drive safely. Here is our honor roll of the top 3 high school non-football playing athletes from the 2016 fall sports season. And number 3, Mercy tennis star Julia Andrich. As an 8th grader, she was a state semifinalist. This year as a 9th grader, a state finalist. You know where this is headed. And number 2, Nathan Lawler, Pittsford Mendon cross country, the top runner in his class at the state, led the Vikings to a 5th straight Section 5 crown. And at number 1, Lindsay Stone of Pittsford Swimming, a 3-time state champion this year. She owns the record in the 500 set this year as a senior, a goal that she set originally as an 8th grader. Lindsay is headed to Notre Dame. And now Sticky Lips Barbecue presents our Athlete of the Week. Is your school looking to raise money? Sticky Lips Barbecue has you covered. Check out our community barbecue fundraisers. Sticky Lips quality is an easy sell. Visit StickyLipsBBQ.com for more details. Anna Costarellis is one of the top area runners. And while cross country might strike you as a lonely sport, Anna rarely runs alone.
Do we get to take off?
I would take it. Why not? Are you running today or? Yeah.
Anna Costarellis is one of the top cross-country runners in the section. She's been waging a 2-person battle with Webster Thomas senior Amanda Vestry from Monroe County Supremacy. Anna shook off injuries that limited her junior season and has come back again strong this year with a scholarship offer from Cincinnati to consider.
The whole college thing has hit me pretty hard, but I've found ways to kind of think about everything and take time for everything, so I think I've been doing a pretty good job of.
So it's important to enjoy your senior year, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even though it's been very chaotic up to this point, I've been taking a couple AP classes and not been making my schedule the easiest it could be, but it's been working out pretty good, I think.
Success is part of it, but there's another reason Anna runs. This 21-year-old Melody Costarellis to consider.
Well, Melody's my sister. She has autism and Down syndrome, and she's been a very big impact on me because she kind of shows me what life's like if you don't have opportunities. So I've kind of taken her mindset and used it for my running, and when I'm like don't want to do homework or I don't want to run or I'm just feeling down, I just think about if I couldn't have the opportunity to do that, and kind of pushes me forward and gives me a reason why.
There's some 400,000 people in the United States living with Down syndrome. Medical science, therapy, and a general increased understanding of the condition is made for a higher quality of life. Melody is Anna's biggest fan, and she's there for many of her races.
Anytime we can include Melody into the family and what's going on with the family, we try to do that. And sometimes Melody has a short attention span, but she seems to like coming and just watching and being a part of it. So that's what's great about it. And then obviously when she's there, the kids respond in kind.
In summer I took on a lot of hours taking care of her, and it's definitely not always easy, and like disabilities are not easy to deal with, definitely. But I think it's made me a better person, helped me grow and definitely understand all people. I think that's really helped me create a lot of dimension in my life because, you know, everyone's going through something, and that kind of helps me when I can take her and then use it towards other people.
The intangibles Anna receives from her older sister are in turn shared with her Churchville Chi-Li team, where Melody is an honorary member of sorts.
It totally makes you appreciate everything, and Melody has such a positive upbeat, and sometimes I'm even, I'm stressed out like a lot of people, and she's smiling and she high-fives me and shakes my hand, and it's awesome. It just reminds me how to be positive no matter what.
Do you aware like that it's so meaningful, that you're doing something so positive for her well-being when you run?
Oh yeah, it definitely gives me like a feeling like she can do it through me, kind of. So even though she can't go out there and run or talk or be verbal, it gives her kind of an outlet, kind of an opportunity to go out. And sometimes it's not really easy to go out in the community when you can't talk and people will give you odd looks. So I think that gives her, once people know it's through me, they kind of more understand it more and are more compassionate towards people like her.
Anna wound up 3rd at sectionals and 12th at states. We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group, including this one. They make the Sports Beat possible. As do you. Thanks once again for watching, and we'll see you next week with the Vision High School Sports Beat.